Welcome to Alog Radio, the virtual radio station for all the people, entertaining you with facts, statistics and stories from around the world. So sit back and prepare for the information that will entertain you, and enjoy. Today I'll be reading from the Guinness World Records 2017. As you know, it's a book based on largest and most extreme of everything, or the most smallest, the most biggest, the fattest, and etc. etc. So remember to subscribe if you're new to this. If you subscribe, then every time I post a video, you'll get a notification on your feed. It's well worth it, and it's free. So just click on the subscribe button, or if you're watching this on a page on social media, follow the page that's attached to, and you'll get updates on regular updates of videos today. So I'm going to go straight to the extrasolar planet section and let's have a look. Okay, the largest extrasolar planet discovered in 2005, planet HD 100546b, has been estimated to be 965,600 kilometers in diameter. It has a mass approximately 60 times that of Jupiter, and its size makes it very close to the boundary between giant planets and brown dwarf stars. In fact, it may turn out not to be a planet at all. It orbits a star, HD 100546, aka KR Muscae, I think I pronounced that right, in the constellation Musca, approximately 320 light years away. The star itself is a C-type, 10 million years old. So, as you can see here, we're talking about a planet that's so big, they're not sure whether it's actually a planet or not. It's on the boundary to becoming a star, so it's very close to becoming a star. And I guess that's the limit to how big a planet can be, because after that you're not a planet, you're a star. Here's some more information. The smallest extrasolar planet ever discovered was Kepler 37b, and it's smaller than the planet Mercury, and it's believed to be 1,930 kilometers across. That's quite amazing, because planets are already small from our perspective outside the solar system. There's probably much smaller ones, but it's very hard to detect a planet because you have to look at the planet. You have to look at small signatures, like the way the star wobbles and the way it changes the light when it passes in front of it. And just to remind you, I'm reading from the Guinness World Records 2017. It's a very good book. I didn't get it on Kindle this time. I got this one was bought in the shops. It was on sale. I can't remember how much it was, but it's probably going to be less than £10 if you go to the shops now. If you go to a good bookstore, maybe Waterstones, or even Sainsbury's. Sainsbury's is very good for books, so you try Sainsbury's out if you're in the UK. I don't know what the American equivalent is, or the Australian, or any other country, but it's a brilliant book, and check it on Kindle. It's probably going to be quite cheap on Kindle as well. It's always going to be cheaper than the printed version. The closest extrasolar planet discovered so far is the Kepler 70b, and it orbits its host star Kepler 70 at a distance of 898,000 kilometers, and it only takes 5.76 hours to complete 1 year, to one rotation around its star, and it's believed to be the hottest extrasolar planet discovered so far, also because of its closeness. And some scientists believe that it's the remains of a gas giant, that it's been stripped down to the rock. It's a rocky planet now, but it was once a gas giant. But the solar wind of the planet is so close and so concentrated that it stripped the atmosphere away and left the rocky core behind. I was reading the other day on an article. I can't remember where I left it, but I can't quote who it is, but they believe there's a planet, maybe two planets on our own solar system that haven't been discovered yet. Because our own solar system, the way we define our solar system is wrong. It actually goes like halfway out to the next star. So there could be a planet, and there's very likely to be a planet in that space because there's a very long distance between the next star. You're talking about like 2 light years, and there's an Oort cloud also, and that's way beyond what we used to define as our where the planets are. It's like very very far out beyond that. Like Pluto is even closer than the Oort cloud. So it's you can imagine it takes a long time for light to get that far, but that's the gravity of the sun rules over that area. But there could be a gigantic planet there, and because of the distance and the from here, it's very hard to detect it. You never discover it, but it's very likely to be there, and there's evidence for it as well, because there's when comets come in, they come in bunches and they come from different regions. They come and it's as if they're being slung in by the planet's gravity. So they reckon it's quite a big planet, maybe bigger than Jupiter. And it wouldn't leave a wobbling signature on the sun because it takes too long to do 1 year. Like our entire history maybe would fit into the orbit of this one planet. So it's quite amazing just to think about that there could be a giant planet out there. Perhaps if we had really really powerful infrared cameras, infrared telescopes, we would see it, because this planet would probably have its own hot core and it would generate its own heat, but it would be very dim, but it would be just enough you could see it. So especially if it's bigger than the Earth, it's probably trapped a lot more heat, and it's got bigger core, and it's got more material that's in the center that's breaking up, more radioactive elements. So that's one thing to look out for. There's a lot to be discovered still in this world, in this universe. A lot of wonders, a lot of amazing things, and this book is helping me to open up the wonders. It's got loads of other stuff in this book. It's worth getting. It's called the Guinness World Records. Check it on Kindle. I'm not sure if it's on Kindle, but you'll probably save money as well that way. And also, with Kindle, with all ebooks, you pay VAT, so you're helping the tax system. With printed books, you don't pay any tax. They're in the UK, we're free of VAT. So that's that for now. Here is another quote from the book titled Guinness World Records 2017, and it's the Saturn V. It claims it's still to this day the largest spacecraft ever made, and it's 110.6 meters tall, about twice the height of the space shuttle, and 15 times heavier than a blue whale. And it was active from 1967 to 1973, and it had a colossal amount of power. If you remember, it was one of the few rockets that was able to accelerate fast enough to escape the Earth's gravity, because you had to go really fast to get away from the Earth's gravity. And it was an amazing spacecraft. A lot of people believe we didn't go to the moon, but there's a lot of evidence. They brought rocks back with them, and there was conditions they got with that they didn't know about before, like space sickness, where you get like the flashing in the eyes from deep space particles and stuff like that. That was unknown to science, and they wouldn't have imagined that. So, and also the retro reflectors they left on the moon's surface. When we fire lasers at the moon, large amounts of lasers, and they bounce back, we can tell that how far away the moon is, and the instrument, the thing that reflects it back, was put there by the astronauts, and it's still there. And if it's not there, then it wouldn't be reflecting the light back. So that's more evidence. And plus the moon rocks themselves, that's evidence. And ultimately, when people go back there, or they send probes there, they'll be able to see again. There'd be no doubt about it. People went to the moon, and it's amazing that that's the first other planet we've been to, because we actually had a two-planet system. The moon, if the moon was on its own, it would be like a dwarf planet. It'd be classed as a planet of its own, because it's crushed itself into a sphere. That's all I have to say today, but until next time, I wish you the best, and please follow her and come back again. Goodbye.